Hi there, everybody. It's been a minute since I've come at you with the Netfix, but here we are, 2020, brand new year. Hoping to get things back on track. Hopefully, Netflix will be bringing us some very great stuff over the coming year, and make sure that I have to keep covering it. So, with that being said, how is everybody? Has the new year brought you good fortune so far? It's only less than a day in, but is it looking better than your 2019? I've, of course, set my own resolutions, things I want to accomplish, goals and whatnot. And yeah, I've gotten off to a pretty good start. By the way, I will begin as usual with, hey, what should I watch on Netflix? What did I watch? What do I recommend? Marriage Story. That was uncomfortably accurate. It was very, for someone that's been through that kind of thing, it hits really close to home. So make sure that you give that one a look. Great performances by ScarJo and Adam Driver. Yeah, Black Widow, Kylo Ren, married, divorced. It's a great movie. But that's not what you're here for. Not especially, anyway. You're here to find out what's coming to Netflix in the month of January, the instant streaming service, and I'm here to give it to you. So without further ado, how about we start with, well, we always start with the Netflix original series. Available on the 1st. Messiah. It's a drama about a CIA officer investigating a charismatic figure whose followers believe he can perform miracles. So basically a second coming type show. And, that's what I'm going to be checking out. I'll report back on February 1st. That's when you can expect the next edition of the Netflix. But yeah, Messiah coming out on the 1st. Spitting Out is also coming out on the 1st. It's a drama about a figure skating Olympic hopeful as they struggle to balance family, love, and fragile mental health. As her dream of winning takes a dizzying hold. I can't really say this is something that is up my alley, but if you are into figure skating dramas, by all means, you have Spitting Out to look forward to. Now, this one I find really interesting. It's the next one available on the 1st, and one that as soon as this episode of the Netflix is over, I might just wind up, Oh, I haven't started that. Okay. Well, it's a little late now, so The Circle, it's a reality competition show where the players move into an apartment building and they never meet face to face during the competition, and they will each live in their own individual apartment. They communicate using only their profiles on a specially designed app, giving them the ability to portray themselves in any way they choose. Throughout the series, the contestants will rate one another from first to last place. At the end of the ratings, their average scores are revealed to one from the highest to lowest. Usually, the two highest rated players will become influencers, while the remaining players will be at risk of being blocked by the influencers. Blocked players are eliminated from the game, but are given the opportunity to meet one player still in the game in person. And they're all competing for $100,000. So it's like literally a popularity contest, but not based on what you look like or how you behave, but more specifically, it's about, I guess, the kind of persona that you can create. And I find that really interesting. So, The Circle, definitely going on my watch list. On the 3rd, you have the final season of Anne with an E, the drama based on the Anne of Green Gables. The 10th, Jiri Haji. It's a thriller set in Tokyo and London, exploring the butterfly effect of a single murder across 2 cities. A dark, witty, and daring examination of morality and redemption. Also on the 10th, a show that I'm actually looking forward to, season 2. It's another competition reality show, and it enamored me. Enamored. I'm sorry. I have the feedback from my microphone in my ear, so I'm like hearing myself talk at like a second delay, and I'm not usually having that. But Zumbo's Just Desserts, a wonderfully whimsical cooking show about desserts. And I don't use the word whimsical lightly. It's like a fairy tale or being told with the narration and just the visuals. It's just really amazing, and it's become one of my favorite cooking shows. Medical Police is coming, and you'd be surprised to know where that came from. It is a spin-off of, I believe it was Adult Swim that had Children's Hospital, and Doctors Owen Maestro and Lola Spratt have left Children's Hospital and joined a secret arm of the CDC to investigate and destroy a global virus. Yeah, Children's Hospital got a spin-off, and it is a Netflix original. How about that? It should be funny. Children's Hospital was known for being funny. I don't really know what else to say there. Just check it out if that's your kind of thing. And if you haven't checked out Children's Hospital, if you have a way to do that, go ahead and do that. So you can, I don't know, find out if this is the kind of thing that'll suit you. Also on the 10th, AJ and the Queen, a down on her luck drag queen, travels across America in a van with a tough-talking 10-year-old stowaway. I believe she's the one with RuPaul, and it looks funny. You can watch these trailers, and yeah, it looks like one of those shows where, maybe the kid isn't the I don't even know where I'm going with that. But check it out, AJ and the Queen. And also, let's see, I don't remember. The 17th, that's where it was. Grace and Frankie, Season 6. One of the best comedies on Netflix by far. Grace and Frankie Season 6 will be coming back on the 17th. Hip Hop Evolution Season 4. It's one of those that's been on my watch list forever, but I just haven't gotten around to it because I don't know. I haven't gotten around to it. And documentaries on music, especially, types of music that I listen to, always interest me. So I look forward to binging that eventually. Season 2 of Sex Education comes out on the 17th. And if you're not familiar with the series, don't feel bad. Because it's about a socially awkward high school student. and he becomes, as they put it, a reluctant expert on the subject of sex. So when his classmates learn about his home life, because his mother is a sex therapist, he decides to use his insider knowledge to improve his status at school. So he teams up with a whip-smart bad girl, that's their terminology, not mine, to set up an underground sex therapy clinic to deal with their classmates' problems. So season 2 of that on the 17th. Oh, excuse me. Huh. The 23rd, October Faction, comes to Netflix. It's a sci-fi series based on the comic book about monster hunters Fred and Dolores Allen as they tangle with evil and family drama with their teenage twins. Rise of Empires, Ottoman. It's a miniseries coming on the 24th. And it will chronicle the 15th century reign of Ottoman ruler Mehmed II. And it looks like it will use a blend of scripted and documentary elements to tell the story of Mehmed the Conqueror, born in 1432. He was first installed as Sultan in 1444. So, 12 years old, became a Sultan, had a 30-year reign from 51 to 81, and included the conquest of Constantinople, no Istanbul. Also on the 24th, a show that many people are going to be very upset to see go. That is The Ranch. The final season of The Ranch is hitting on the 24th. Now, I don't know how you feel about breaking a season up into different parts. On the one hand, it, gives me a chance to watch a show I like over the course of a year-ish. But on the other hand, I can finish it in a day. So rather than 2 days of watching a full season, taking one day in, July and one day in January or something like that, I don't know. But Sam Elliott, Ashton Kutcher, and Dax Shepard bid farewell on the 24th. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 3. See what I mean? Third part. Also on the 24th. Teenage drama. Next in Fashion comes on the 29th. It's a reality competition show about fashion design. On the 30th, The Stranger comes out. It's a British mystery thriller. A mysterious stranger tells a man a secret that has a devastating impact on his perfect life. Another show, and, this is the other thing, because you got The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 3, or The Ranch, the final season. All these different ways of splitting up a season and, spreading out the content. And now we have on the 31st, yet another way they're doing this BoJack Horseman Season 6, Part B. I wish that this would all be uniform. It would be really... It's not difficult to differentiate now, but it would be nice if there was just a uniform way of doing all of this. But BoJack Horseman Season 6, Part B, coming out on the 31st. I'd say top 5 Netflix original show. Great show. Period. Also on the 31st, Diabolero, Season 2. It's a horror series about a young priest that enlists the help of a demon hunter and a paranormal expert to search for a kidnapped girl in the underworld of Mexico City. Cool. And finally, on the 31st, for the Netflix original series, Ragnarok. It's a drama that combines Norse mythology and devastating effects of climate change in a small, fictitious Norwegian town. Unless someone intervenes in time, the town will be driven to a Ragnarok, the battle at the end of the world. So those are all of your Netflix original series coming in January 2020. There's one more listed, Dracula. It doesn't give a date, but it says coming too. So the Netflix original series, Dracula, I guess. And there's only one Netflix original film coming out in 2020. The 17th of January, we'll see Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. When a law-abiding Grace confesses to killing her new husband, her skeptical young lawyer sets out to uncover the truth. And that's all of the Netflix original films. So then we move on to documentaries. Like Sex Explained, coming out on the 2nd. It's a limited series. From the biology of attraction to the history of birth control, explore the ins and outs of sex in this entertaining and enlightening series. And on the 8th, there is a documentary about cheerleading called Cheer. The gripping docuseries follows the ups and downs of Navarro College's competitive cheer squad as they work to win a coveted national title. And on the 22nd, Pandemic, How to Prevent an Outbreak. In this, you get to meet the heroes on the front line of the battle against influenza and learn about their efforts to stop the next global outbreak. On the 29th, you have Night on Earth, where they talk about night on Earth. Crazy. Next up, we have some anime. Starting with on the 10th, Scissor 7. On the 16th, based on the popular video game, Ni no Kuni. And on the 23rd, you have Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac Season 1, Part 2. For your stand-up Netflix original stand-up series, your Netflix comedy specials, Fortune Feimster, Sweet and Salty. Okay. Kids and Family, January 4th, Go Corey Carson. That is... I have some information on that. Hold on. Based on the Go Toyland from VTech, the children's series follows the adventures of Corey Carson. Stars Alice C. Lim, Paul Killam, Maisie Basin. I thought I had more on that, but I guess not. But that is the 4th. And on the 13th, there is a sweet show called The Healing Powers of Dude. When an 11-year-old boy with a social anxiety disorder must start middle school, he finds strength in a lovable comfort mutt named Dude. It's a comedy. But yeah, so I like that idea, the thought that this is something that can be talked about. On the 14th, Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast. And all it says is a girl explores the possibilities in a post-apocalyptic world. Animated. Finally, on the 20th, we have Family Reunion Part 2. Again, I don't know what that means. A family struggles to make the transition from life in Seattle to Georgia, where the extended family lives. And that is Family Reunion. And finally, for the big ones, the stuff that's not made by Netflix, the stuff that they actually pay other people the privilege of airing on their network, I guess you could say. First up, 2004, rated PG, A Cinderella Story, starring Hilary Duff. 5.9 on IMDb, 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. A teenager in California is obliged to work as a janitor and dishwasher in the diner of her stepmother. And after a cell phone mix-up, she begins an anonymous text messaging and email relationship with the boy. She finds out he's cool, and she freaks out. You get the idea. Next up, and this is kind of weird because we got these two movies coming out on the same day, but they are like super duper different, even though that they have the same source material. First, I'll talk about 2005 rated PG, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, directed by Tim Burton, starring Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka, Freddie Highmore as the young Charlie Bucket. I mean, you know the story. There's a contest. Kids win a tour of a chocolate factory. And then things happen. But on the same day, you have the 1971 rated G classic, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, directed by Mel Stewart, starring Gene Wilder. Dear Lord, why are you making people... Okay, you're not really making people. But why would you give them both? It's like, it's really easy to see which one's better. And of course, that's Willy Wonka, by the way. So, yeah, it's older, but it's better. Next up, 2010, rated PG-13, Dinner for Schmucks. A 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, 5.9 on the old IMDb. Directed by Jay Roach, starring Paul Rudd and Steve Carell. Paul Rudd, is a rising executive and works for a boss to host a monthly... Okay, basically, long story short, this guy's boss gives a career boost to whoever brings the biggest moron to dinner. It's like a competition between the up and coming employees, and considering that this dinner has Steve Carell and Zach Galifianakis. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Dragonheart, 1996, PG-13. 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.5 in the old IMDb's. Starring Dennis Quaid, directed by Rob Cohen. It's a dragon movie. It's a dragon movie. Drugs Inc. Season, I want to say 6. Season 6 is going to be available on the 1st. Cool. If you like to take an inside look at the pharmaceutical industry. There, I had to take the headphones off for a second. That's it. Drugs Inc. Season 6. Woo! This is a good one. This is a great one. If you haven't watched this yet, what's wrong with you? Get on it. Right? You turn off the show. Listen to it watch the movie right now. No, not Drugs Inc., but the 1986 PG-13 classic, directed by John Hughes, starring Matthew Broderick. That's right. This teen comedy drama. I don't understand the drama, but this is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Gotta watch it. Don't wait. 1993 brought us the first in a somehow, I don't know. It was so illogical. It brought us Free Willy, rated PG. About a young boy that befriends a whale and wants to free him. Hence the name. The name is Willy, by the way. The whale's name is Willy Znorka, a killer whale. And the biggest thing going for this was the Michael Jackson song that it brought with it to the soundtrack. And yes, it became a series. No, I don't understand how, because there are other movies that make it a sequel, but they don't become a series. Like the next movie on the list, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It's a rated R, definitely rated R, 2004 stoner flick. 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just going to read the Rotten Tomatoes score. Harold and Kumar get stoned and they want to go to White Castle. So that's it. Oh, of course, hilarity ensues. Neil Patrick Harris is, I want to say this is what really brought him back. So, Harold and Kumar. One of the movie's great movie duos, in my opinion. 2005 brought us Hitch, PG-13 romantic comedy starring Will Smith and Kevin James. No, it's not like I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. No, Hitch. Will Smith is the mentor to Kevin James, who's trying to win the heart of the glamorous Allegra Cole. But then he winds up falling in love with someone as well. (2010) PG-13 Inception sci-fi thriller, directed by none other than Christopher Nolan. You might know him from some Batman movies or something like that. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio. You might have heard of him. With a little bit of JGL thrown in for good measure. And Ellen Page. Have you ever fallen asleep and, had a dream, and then you went and fell asleep in that dream, and you were like a dream within a dream? And basically, if you don't know what Inception is at this point, it's been 10 years now. That's what it is. A movie about dreams. And a group of people that will infiltrate your dreams and take your secrets. Pretty neat stuff. Groundbreaking special effects. Really rad. If you are in the mood for a 2004 teen comedy starring the Olsen twins, then New York a Minute is available. Yeah. Patriot Games is coming out on the 1st, also 1992, rated R. Back when Harrison Ford was Jack Ryan and not John Krasinski. He's Jack Ryan in the series, right? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But Jack Ryan versus terrorist. And Jack Ryan is Harrison Ford. So Harrison Ford versus terrorist. There you go. Also, you have The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Both of those. Again, PG-13 2002 for The Two Towers. And I believe it's basically the same except 2003 for Return of the King. You should basically know what that is. Fantasy, they're returning a ring to a mountain. They're walking through the forest. You got Frodo and, Gandalf and Hermione, I think. And I saw the movies once. Okay, now a couple of really, really awesome movies. Pay attention. They're available now, and watch them. In 1988 and then in 1991, 2 movies came out that changed cinema forever. Starring Leslie Nielsen, The Naked Gun from The Files of Police Squad, and The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, came out. They're hilarious. They're parodies of, cop shows, cop movies, that kind of thing. Leslie Nielsen, the unlikely bumbling hero, that kind of thing. Really awesome. And the first one has a cameo from Weird Al. And I guess if you can look past the whole, hey, these movies have O.J. Simpson in it, that you'll love it. If you haven't seen it already, that's the Netflix guarantee. You will love this. The Ring 2002, PG-13. That movie where it's if you watch this tape in 7 days, you'll die. That's coming out. And I believe that's also on the 1st. Yes. Then you have What Lies Beneath. Harrison Ford. What is it? Michelle Pfeiffer. A thriller. PG-13 from the year 2000. That should be a good watch. I haven't seen it, but that, you know what? I don't seem to have the notes for the rest of the month here, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to go ahead and cue the music. You know what? It's been a hectic time getting these together. It's been a while. Next month will be a lot more organized, and I do guarantee we will be back on the 1st of February. Until then, keep streaming.